The Charlie Kirk situation is literally divided the entire country. Right versus left, pro-Palestine versus Israel, white versus black, and even white liberals versus white conservatives. And in many cases now, moderate conservatives versus the extreme right. That is where we're at. In the add fuel to the fire, Charlie Kirk's wife decided that she would actually speak on the issues. I mean, it's only been 3 days since she's lost her husband forever, and she's been doing some weird stuff, like taking pictures with the body, putting it on Instagram, crying uncontrollably. I mean, it's just been weird. And for the respect of Charlie Kirk's body, we're not gonna post that, but that is exactly what she's been doing. But this particular statement that she made is even worse.
The evildoers responsible for my husband's assassination have no idea what they have done. They killed Charlie because he preached a message of patriotism, faith, and of God's merciful love. But they should all know this. If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country and this world. You have no idea. You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry. And I talked to her and she said, "Mommy, I missed you." I said, "I miss you too, baby." She goes, "Where's Daddy?" What do you tell a 3-year-old? She's 3. I said, "Baby, Daddy loves you so much. Don't you worry. He's on a work trip with Jesus, so he can afford your blueberry budget." And my goodness, am I so humbled to witness Charlie, you alongside Jesus right now.
So this whole situation to me is like very cringe. It's like almost a scene from a movie. Is she acting? I'm not sure. But I wasn't the only person that felt that this was bad.
All I'm gonna say, and correct me if I'm wrong, but did y'all hear Erica Kirk's speech, Charlie Kirk's wife? To me, it didn't sound like a wife grieving, but more sounded like she was delivering a message.
And other people feel the same way.
It feels very cold and very sterile and just very, very bizarre for somebody who lost her husband so tragically. Why is one of the first things that she's doing going out and making this statement thanking the likes of J.D. Vance and Donald Trump? There's so much already that rings weird about this whole situation, and it doesn't add up. And this...
So she's basically saying they killed him and you don't know what you've done. You don't know what this wife is going to do now. And so it's almost like she was prepped up to not signal out Tyler Robinson, the young man that said, "Hey, I killed Charlie Kirk." No, it's like they. So who are they? Well, it can't be the black community because it's not they. So then it must be the left. Now, let's just talk about the left, okay? She could be implying that. So the left is, obviously the Democrats, those people who are against a lot of Charlie Kirk's message, and that could include blacks. But again, Charlie Kirk was a self-professed Christian. We could definitely say a self-professed alleged white supremacist by his talking points. And that kind of grew over the years as he got more important or more famous. But one of the things that we can talk about is this whole idea about LGBTQ and transgenderism. Now, this is where it gets interesting because Tyler Robinson is a conservative who was a Nick Fuentes fan. But then now we find out that Tyler Robinson was in a gay relationship with a man that was becoming transgender. So again, we don't really understand if Tyler Robinson is a person on the extreme right, or Tyler Robinson is also on the extreme left. And either can happen, right? So it could be that. Or is it that she is declaring war on the extreme right? Now, the extreme right includes people such as Nick Fuentes, Groypers, the alt-right, these white guys, basically who have bought this land, Eric Orwell, okay, return to the land. So these are extreme guys who definitely are racist. And of course, Charlie Kirk being mentioned as a person that was moderate, okay? And the extreme right doesn't like Jews, right? They're not supporters of Israel. So if you look at Charlie Kirk, and with the competition for the eyes of the white youth, he's looked at as a person that's dangerous to whites because he says he loves being white and he's a white supremacist, but he's also pledging his support for Israel. And so if that's the case, if people want him to be removed, she could be referring to that. But ultimately, she doesn't seem to be bothered by his death. It seems to be fake and phony, but it also points to something that is more important, that she's also unaccountable. What do I mean?
They are the way that they are because they choose to be that way. I need people to really start to understand that. People choose to be the way that they are. He was not accidentally a fascist or a misogynist or racist or spewing rape culture bullshit. He wasn't accidentally doing that. He did that shit on purpose. He didn't trip and fall into fascism. That was an act of choice. He made the active choice to be a terrible person. She made the active choice to marry a terrible person because she herself is a terrible person.
Now, the young lady is talking about something because Charlie Kirk, to many people, would be a bad person, all right? I'm not trying to say that everybody thought this way, but in the case that she married him, if he thought that blacks had problems, she would have to also feel the same way. If he had racist sentiment, she'd have to feel the same way. And if her view of Christianity is as radical as Charlie Kirk's was, then she also feels the same way. And when you listen to her talk, she does sound delusional. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have any, disrespect towards her. I mean, she lost her husband, so I don't know how to handle something like that. They have kids together, but he was killed for being a Christian. He's with Jesus. I mean, some of the things he was saying, could we say are not Christian-like? So what kind of warped version of Christianity do you belong to? And it just goes to show you what people can think, how delusional they can be in their own thought processes. And it also sounds almost absurd. And it seems like she's also radicalized, right? To a certain degree. And so now this lady has made this declaration of war, but we absolutely don't know who the declaration is against. And she has left us guessing. Now, when it comes to Turning Point USA, it seems like she may actually come to the forefront and become a leader in the movement. And I'm going to tell you exactly why this is important. So Tucker Carlson basically has given the family $1 million. All right. And you can see it here. Statement from Tucker Carlson and Neil Patel. And so they're basically setting up a Give, Send, Go page on their behalf. All right. Now, if you can look at this Give, Send, Go, okay, $4.598 million has been given to Charlie Kirk and his family. Okay. So not only that, she requested Turning Point USA to basically come out with new chapters. Turning Point USA sees an upward of 18,000 new chapters requests overnight. This is after she said this, so this is definitely a play. She is going to become the new leader of Turning Point USA. They are getting ready to fix her to this. She'll never work another day in her life. She is going to be absolutely rich. All right. So now with her doing this and keeping the movement going, I don't know. It's still going to be a weapon out here on these streets. Okay. No matter how I think deranged this lady is, her beliefs, views, skewed thing, it's politics. There's no way they can let Turning Point USA go. So she'll still own it. They'll still support it. They'll still get other influencers to keep pushing it. They're still going to be successful, not as successful with Charlie Kirk, but yes, they're going to be a play. And now the Republicans are going to have even more control over Turning Point USA. They're going to monetize this guy's death. And yes, the world's going to become a little bit more radical. All right. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again. Another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Appreciate you for all you do. We're out.